The number one question that I get asked by clients is, how do I deal with nerves? That is the topic of today's episode, number 25 of Unlock Speaking Confidence with me, Maureen McCown. So what causes these nerves in the first place? Well, it's back down to basic primitive instinct. It is that fight or flight instinct that kicks into place. We feel in danger because we're going to be putting ourselves in a vulnerable position. We're standing up in front of others and we can be judged. We are going to be looked at. They're going to be listening to us, all eyes on us, and that can cause nerves. We're conscious that we're going to make a mistake, that we're going to make a fool of ourselves, that we're going to say the wrong thing, that we're going to forget everything that ever had been in our heads. And that's causing us nervousness. So physically, as a result of that, we get the sweaty palms, the heart starts pumping and pounding, our voice can go dry, all of these things that can combine to create a really, really tense situation. So let's take a step back from all of this. What can we do to eliminate or to reduce nerves? And I would rather reduce than eliminate, because that little bit of nervousness, that nervous energy, that bit of adrenaline can give us that little bit of an extra push that we need to help us to perform at our best. But we need to be in control of them so that we're not allowing the nerves to overtake the situation. Thinking back, why are you nervous, or what in particular is making you nervous or anxious? What are your fears? When one of my sons was young, he was afraid of going to sleep at night because of monsters under the bed. Many parents will have had the same situation. And the tactic that I used with him was, rather than saying there are no monsters under your bed, go to sleep, we made a game out of it. So we had a look, checked there were no monsters there, and then came up with strategies. What could he do if there was a monster under the bed, so that he was going to get that monster and that he was going to be victorious? That's the same principle that I take a look at with my clients. What are you afraid of, and what can you do to alleviate those fears by taking action? What is it that you're going to be able to do? So, for example, if somebody is really afraid that they are going to forget their place in the presentation, or they're going to forget their place on the slide deck, then we start by taking a look at that slide deck, pulling out a huge amount of information so that they're not totally dependent on it, and that they're able to talk around it. And that's one of the key areas that I work with people, is how to reduce the amount of content on slides so that you're having a conversation with people rather than delivering a presentation. So it's taking a look, and that's back to the preparation side of things. Right back to the beginning, when you're preparing, audience focused, clear structure to your presentation, and that you have it prepared and that you're familiar with it so that you can talk around your points. It doesn't have to be word perfect. Because if I want something to be word perfect and I forget a word and I start thinking, oh, I'm after making a mistake there and that's gone wrong, that's going to add more to my nervousness, and I'm more likely to make even more mistakes as I continue. So pull it back. Keep it simple. Have your preparation work done well in advance so that you are confident about the content. And when you're confident about that content, the next thing is, how do you become familiar with it? And that's through practice. And I have my 3-part series on how to prepare for a presentation, dealing with that whole preparation, the practice side of it, and also how to get effective feedback. So you can find that on YouTube, episodes 10, 11 and 12 on my YouTube channel, or if you prefer to read it, I've got blog posts written on each of those as well. You'll find them on my website, softskillsuccess.ie. You have your practice. You internalize the content that's there rather than learning it off by heart. And then it is taking a look at what else you can do to get yourself in the right zone for delivering that presentation so that it can be done effectively. And a powerful way to do this is visualization. Many years ago, I had entered Toastmasters speech contest. I had won at my local club level and I was moving on to the area level. And that was going to require a lot of practice, of rehearsal to make sure that I was comfortable and confident delivering it. Except I was in bed sick with laryngitis and not able to speak in the 3 days leading up to the contest. Couldn't practice. So instead of being able to practice out loud, I visualized. I imagined myself moving from my seat, walking up to the stage, shaking the hand of the contest chair, where I was going to stand, how I was going to deliver, and then practiced it all through in my mind. I visualized the audience and what their reception was, and they were all smiling up at me in my visualization because I wanted to make myself comfortable and confident. As a result, when it came to the day of actually delivering that speech contest, I felt totally prepared because it had all been gone through in my mind beforehand. So visualization can be a really powerful technique to use. Another technique is going to be the breathing, so that you have your breathing done to help to calm down your nervous system. And when we say breathing and take deep breaths, very often people take a deep breath in here in the chest area, but it's actually right down lower. It's think of put your hands in your tummy and that you're breathing in and you can actually feel your tummy rising like a balloon and going back down again, and that you are calming yourself down. That breathing is going to help you get more calm. It will help you to speak more slowly so that you've got more authority when you're speaking, and it just relaxes yourself overall. And my final 5th tip for you here is to loosen up your voice beforehand. Do some vocal exercises. Your basic tongue twisters are fantastic for something like this. Speaking out loud, loosening up the voice so that you're less likely to stumble over words when you start to speak. So back again, 5 tips, what you can do to help to deal with nerves. First of all, have yourself well prepared. Put a lot of time and effort into that. Secondly, that you are going to be practicing. Thirdly, use visualization as a tool to put you into that situation where you're speaking and get yourself prepared for it. Fourthly, that you're going to use your breathing. And fifthly, that you are going to use tongue twisters or other vocal exercises to warm you up in advance. Next week's topic, I am going to be talking about how to internalize or memorize that presentation and tips to help you with that. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Soft Skills Success. This has been episode 25. I'm Maureen McCown and I will talk to you soon.